Good afternoon. This is Michael B. And today's March 5th. I'll be your host as we continue exploring the anatomy of modern romance scams. So thank you for tuning in. I wanted to begin our discussion today with just a quick observation, right? And that is the purpose of these podcasts is simple. They're about education and prevention. My hope is that by sharing what happened to me personally, it may help ensure that this never happens to you or to someone you love. Unfortunately, I speak from firsthand experience. I'm still rebuilding after what happened to me. And the reality is that recovery from these scams can take a very long time. I don't know if people actually ever fully recover from these. I've talked to many who've been involved in this, and believe me, the scars are still prevalent. And I think what many people don't realize is that these scams are not quick events. They're carefully orchestrated over months, and the damage they leave behind can take years to recover from. And again, in truth, I'm not sure anyone ever fully recovers. I haven't spoken to anybody who said, you know what, I am completely and fully over this. And I've spoken to, again, quite a few people. So that kind of emotional damage and collateral damage is really what I'm trying to save you and the people you love from. All right. For me personally, it remains to be seen if I can fully recover. Still rebuilding my family relationships and those relationships with people I've worked with. It's extremely difficult and excruciatingly painful. So this episode is one of the more difficult ones for me to talk about. And if I pause for a moment during this discussion, it's simply because I'm trying to regain some composure. Even months later, some of the moments still hit very close to home, and they are extremely painful. So please bear with me. And if I break down a little bit, I'll try and recover and get right back to our discussion. Okay. The other thing that I hope people remember is, and this is something that we've discussed before, is that these scams are not intellectual attacks. They're emotional, and that's why families and even the individuals who are involved in these, until they're outside of it, until they're through, they've been ghosted by the other party. Um, why they why they have such a difficult time seeing it, right? And believe me, these operators, these people who work for these syndicates, they are they are very well trained in the responses and these open-ended questions and the responses and the questions that elicit dopamine and those hormones that essentially are rewarding to your brain and your biochemistry. But I'm not a biochemist, so I won't get into that level of it. But I think everybody has been there enough to know that when somebody says "I love you," or other intimate overtures, that it just feels different, and that's the impact, and that's what they study. And believe me, they are extremely good at it. You'll sit there thinking you're immune, that you've been trained, that there's just no way that you're going to fall victim to it. Ask me how I know. and yet it still happens. It begins with that first innocuous message that is so non-threatening, and it just develops into something that is just can become an absolute nightmare. It, I just can't stress that enough. And when these relationships take hold, remember that they're emotionally based and they go deep. They go very deep. At this stage, the relationship doesn't feel fully established. It is fully established. Okay. And I'll just give you, some of the key indicators, some of the flags. The communication is really frequent. It may be that first text in the morning. Hi, did you miss me? I love you. Have a good day. I'll catch up with you. Um, it, Midday, did you have lunch? How's your day going? I can't wait till this evening to talk to you. My day's not complete until I do. Do you see that pattern? Now, these scams, what I refer to also as the attachment override model, and let me hit that really briefly. What I mean by that is that because these are emotionally based relationships, your intellect, the red flags, that spider sense that says, wow, this is not right, gets overridden. It truly does. It gets pushed aside. I'm just being overly cautious. This person is my friend, and this is going to go from friendship to love to lovers. I will guarantee that is where it's headed, because it's designed that way. You're being emotionally manipulated, and these conversations are being engineered to take you right down the path. You're being herded up the chute. The law enforcement calls it pig butchering. And and I hate to call somebody a pig. And when I heard the FBI call me that for the first time and say, "Oh, you're a victim of being pig butchered," you could have slapped me across the face. That hurt so bad to know that was the case. And if you're in this relationship and you're at this pivotal point where I love you is becoming even deeper emotionally and intimately, you're in trouble. Okay. Now I'm going to be very clear about something. You're being herded up the chute. You are. You are being gently herded this way and that way. But if you notice, you're being herded to a place, and you are being herded gently. Okay. It takes time. It takes that emotional hook to make sure that you are hooked before they continue on to the money part of it. Okay. And so this relationship is going to get deeper. And when I say your intellect is going to kick in, it will a little bit, right? Because as you're getting herded up that chute, and I hate to be blunt, you're going to smell the blood of those who went before you. And one of those is me. Okay. Um, I'm just going to be real honest with you. One of those is me. I'm no longer there, but you're going to smell that, and you need to pay attention to that. And again, I hate to be that graphic and that blunt, but that is what is happening. All right. And I can't express enough the danger that you are in. But I will say that this relationship still feels very natural. Okay. But something structural is beginning to change. All right. And what that is these scammers are starting to reposition themselves emotionally within your life. We talked about them weaving themselves into the fabric of their life, of your life, excuse me, and they're going to continue to do that. And they don't do that through control, they do that through importance, through those daily good morning, I miss you, I love you. Did you have something to eat? Are you feeling well? Did you do those eye exercises that I shared with you? Did you do yoga? Did you have dinner? Have you eaten lunch? Um, my day is not complete until I speak with you. You are that important to me. Okay. All of those, and it's not ego, right? They just know what to say to make you feel good about that relationship. And they're working to get that to a point where they become exclusive in your life. You may have a spouse, significant other, very close relationships with your family. Those are going to start diminishing in importance. You're going to go to this person for verification of how you're doing for the day, what you're doing at work, and what thing, your successes, your setbacks, everything that you can talk about and everything that you're strapped into emotionally, they are going to strap in with you and they are going to ride that roller coaster with you. Okay. And you're going to look over and it's not going to be that person that you're used to. It's not going to be your significant other. It's not going to be, your older children that you confide with and vice versa. It's not going to be your business associates that you deal with daily. It's going to be this person, and it's engineered. I will guarantee it. It's not real. They are not real, but man, do they seem like they are. Okay. And these daily check-ins normalize dependencies. And I use that word with intentionality. Okay. Dependency. You're going to be realizing that you're more dependent upon this person. All right. Personal problems are shared with the scammer and vice versa. Emotional trust, and this is very important to them. Trust deepens, okay? And they become an emotional authority for you. You're in serious trouble. I just can't stress that enough. Please, I am begging, I am praying that you will just turn about face and delete them and block them and walk away. Embrace your family. Those relationships that count. If you do that, delete and block and walk, you are going to save yourself possibly millions of dollars. You're going to save yourself heartache like you can't believe. You're going to save yourself sleepless nights that you can't count. You're going to save yourself from severing relationships that you almost cannot rebuild, and some you will not be able to. And you are going to put everything that you have, that you hold dear, at risk. Okay. And most people are going to assume that scammers isolate victims by telling them to stop talking to family or friends. That's not always the case, right? Um, the direct isolation kind of raises alarms, but instead they reframe the relationship. They get just so close to you and so intertwined with you that and it's through conversations like, look, your family's not going to understand what we have. They'll judge our relationship. They don't see you the way I do. These statements are subtle, but they do something powerful. They plant the idea that outside voices may threaten the relationship, and slowly you begin protecting that relationship from those voices and from those individuals. And here's an acid test. All right, you used to give up your phone to your kids, to your spouse, to your friends. Hey, I need to make a text, or I want to look something up on the internet and show it something to you, but you don't give them your phone. All right, you just don't give it to them anymore because you're protecting that relationship. What if they accidentally open Telegram or WhatsApp and they see those conversations? Okay, maybe you're not even sharing anything sexual, but you are sharing things that are intimate. I will almost guarantee you of that. And you're not going to want to answer those questions of, hey, who's this? I don't recall you ever speaking of this person or that person, and you will defend that relationship. And psychologically, they're helping you to do that. They are guiding you down that course of action. And again, that's an acid test for yourself to know that you are suffering from a romance scam, or what I'm calling the attachment override model. And I call it that because you are attached to this person. You may not say you are, you may not think you are, but you are. And if you could sit back and divorce yourself of the emotion, you'll you'll understand intellectually at that point, and you may even see it intellectually at that point, that you're in serious trouble. Okay? This person has become so important to you that they are almost, if not a second spouse, okay, a second life that you are starting to lead and protect. And your family may be coming along with the plans that you're making with this individual, okay, but this person is on the same level, maybe even more important. And logic doesn't really disappear, but it becomes secondary. You you compartmentalize that and you put it aside. Okay, protecting the relationship becomes the priority, and you're not really evaluating it. You're protecting it. You're letting it develop. You're letting it grow. You're becoming part of it, and that is intentional. Okay. And as I have done more and more research on this, I'm guilty of, oh, that person deserved it, you know, or that person was just being stupid. Well, I've called myself that maybe 100 times, and but I want to share something with you, and I have to tip my hat to law enforcement, and especially the FBI. They are very empathetic. They understand. They go, you know what, Michael, this is not about stupidity. This is about emotion versus intellect, and emotions are strong, and most times stronger than intellect. And the word that is continually being used by law enforcement when I talk to them, and I've probably talked to 7 or 8 um, law enforcement people, including the FBI, different people, and we've gone into this in depth. The word they all use is that this is epidemic. Okay, and as soon as you respond to that first message, you're really in some serious danger. You truly are. When you get that back and forth, and you're opening the door into your life and the things that you hold dear and the things that are real, because this person is not real. They have one objective, and all the conversations, all the I love yous, all of the put your hands on me, honey, all of the nobody makes love to me even though you're not close to me. Those comments and that situation is again engineered. It's not real. Okay? But they make it that real. And unfortunately, you are probably going to get tapped into that because you're probably going to be committed. You're already committed emotionally. You're probably going to be committed fairly deeply financially. We'll talk about that later on in another podcast. But in this podcast, I just want you to understand that you're being steered. Okay, you're being guided to an intimate relationship that is just you and me against the outside world, just you and me against the world, just you and me against everything. And that is where they're taking you. Okay, and you may not even be fighting it because really this relationship just feels so good. It feels so normal. And and you may have those qualms of this is just too easy, or this is really getting out of hand because it's getting so deep, but you will justify it and you'll protect it. And I plead with you to understand where you're at. There's a game on, and they understand it and they know all the rules, and you just don't. Okay, you're going to learn what this game is all about in a moment when they ghost you, and they will after they're done and there's no more money to be taken from you. They will ghost you, and then you're going to be going, where are you? I thought you loved me. I thought you were out there. I thought you were for me. I thought we were going to do this together. Whatever this was, you are going to be left alone with the relationships that you may have damaged beyond repair. So please delete, block, and walk. It is so simple. It's a 30-second solution that will save you so much heartache. All right. So I just really wanted to hit this again and hopefully help people understand what this is about. It's not about intelligence. It's about emotional leverage. And it's so about manipulation. Okay. And this person is going to become part of the fabric of your life. And you just need to get out of it now. And I hope you do. I hope you are not in it. I hope that you listening to this podcast, you go, Michael, I understand that this could happen to me and could happen to anybody. And thank you for sharing this. Okay, because this is exquisitely painful for me. And I am hoping beyond hope that it will be a warning for you and a protection for you and your family. I'll catch you on the next episode, and thank you for listening and spending your valuable time with me. I really appreciate it. You have a good rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon.